Don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
Welcome to Atlantic City, New Jersey's Boardwalk Hall, where tonight, Main Events is proud to present an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. Brought to you in association with Caesars Atlantic City, Bally's Atlantic City, and your king of beers, Budweiser. The first bout is presented in association with DiBella Entertainment, and best wishes for a speedy recovery to Main Events Brian Little. All bouts sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board. The three judges at ringside for this contest will be Joe Pasquale, Luis Rivera, and Paul Venti. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, David Fields. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing in the junior welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with black. He officially weighs 142 pounds. His professional record, 21 victories, including 14 knockouts with 5 defeats. He comes to us from Accra, Ghana, now fighting out of the Bronx in New York City. He is EMMANUEL Clottey. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with silver. Also weighing in officially at 142 pounds. His professional record, 14 victories, including 11 knockouts with only 1 defeat. From Guadalajara, Mexico, here is Francisco Ponchito Bojado.
Okay, gentlemen, we're scheduled to box 10 rounds. You both know the rules. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Most of all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, good luck. Touch gloves. Touch gloves.
Bojado has already made the journey from anointed boy king to young prospect. Let's see if he can get back closer to the king status, starting with this fight.
Even in his loss to Juan Carlos Rubio, he garnered some respect because though discouraged and beaten, he hung in, kept trying, and absorbed the physical punishment without complaint and without withering. Round 1 of a scheduled 10. Clottey, when he is fighting at his normal pace, throws a lot of jabs, about 40 per round. That's a fast pace with the jab. Bojado plans to try to pick the jab off, drop right hands over it, and jab with the jabber.
Bojado's hand speed and power is very evident right away, but what he's got to realize, he's got to take his time, because Clottey is fighting a very defensive fight, much like a lot of the guys who come from the African countries. They cover up, they walk you down, make you work about 4 times as much as they work, and if you're not careful, they'll catch you later in the fight as you get tired.
They come forward with the guard in front of their faces. This was the Cuarte style that we saw so graphically demonstrated in his fights against De La Hoya and Vargas. They wait for you to stop punching, then they unload, then go back to the defensive posture.
Exactly. And right now, exactly what he's doing. He's making Bojado do all of the work.
And many of Bojado's punches being blocked by the elbows, the gloves, and the shoulders of Clottey.
And even the body punches that do land a lot, they're prepared for them. So they're tense and they're covering up so they don't get hurt that much when they do hit into the body.
But a good sharp jab right between the guard on 2 occasions there by Bojado. That left hook blocked by Clottey with the glove. Bojado seeming to recognize already that he's going to have to be patient in trying to pick apart EMMANUEL Clottey.
Yeah, so you're going to watch for Clottey's little pecky jab that will start to be ineffective later on.
Bojado suffered from the flu 3 weeks ago while preparing for the fight. It seemed to say to us in a fighter meeting yesterday that he really only had 2 weeks of effective training.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then Clottey, by the same token, said he'd been to Ghana and just returned, I think, less than a week to this country.
So maybe neither fighter's in absolute peak condition. That could help the entertainment value of the bout.
But right now, I'm really getting a little concerned about Bojado's punching at the pace that he's punching at.
Yeah, he seems to be punching everything hard.
Everything is all right. When you fight a fighter like Clottey, you do a lot of easy punching, a little probing, filling around, then you explode, then you start probing again. Everything should not be hard.
One thing Bojado had shown under Mayweather Sr., particularly evident in his rematch with Juan Carlos Rubio, was an ability to relax in the ring. Very fluid fighter when moving in a relaxed fashion, but he does seem tensed up in the first round here, trying to make some impact on Clottey.
Very tensed up.
A good round for Bojado.
Good round for him, but it doesn't look that good going down the stretch if he continues to fight at this pace.
Breathe in your mouth and let out slow. Again. Give him your feint, give him your feint. Shoot the right hand right down the middle. You keep banging him to the body, man, on this side and that side. Cut around that side there and dig him up on that side there. Okay?
The one that'll catch him. Don't wait for him. Now you gotta get busy now. Gotta get busy go. All right?
Not a lot of talk in Clottey's corner.
Yeah.
Trainer Kwame Asante wants him to get a little busier, I guess.
And Clottey looked at him a little doubtfully. He may have his own pace in mind.
I think that's what's the case, Larry.
By CompuBox numbers, Panchito Bojado threw 30 jabs in the first round, landed only 12. The bulk of those jabs blocked by Clottey's gloves. Clottey threw only 34 punches in the round. That's a very moderate pace. And you heard what Larry suggested about how Clottey may have different ideas than his trainer has about the pace at which he wants to fight. He may already be thinking to himself, I can make the kid work himself down.
Yeah, but Bojado's got such speed to it. If he lets him get way ahead on points, it's going to be very difficult for him to try to win the fight unless he can knock Bojado's out going down the stretch.
Bojado's one loss to Rubio was via decision. Clottey, as we mentioned, got help in his knockout of Abdullayev from the fact that Abdullayev turned to the referee expecting to follow the count and then get up at 8. The referee, having picked up the count from the ringside timekeeper, turned to Abdullayev and said 8, 9, 10 before the Uzbeki fighter could figure out what was going on.
That was a very unfortunate break from particularly the fact he was on his feet and he went down at the instructions of his corner, but he thought there was the beginning of the count. And I guess the language barrier didn't help neither.
And there was less than a minute remaining in the fight, a fight which Abdullayev had easily won up to that point. But that's the credential that brings Clottey here, and it's a good one. Hard right hand by Bojado landed. Clottey pins Bojado against the ropes and tries for the rally, but Bojado steps away. And another straight right hand lands for Bojado. Twice in this round, he's led with the right hand and has discovered that's the way to land it.
If he could get Clottey to punch more, we give him something he could counter-punch on, but right now Clottey isn't punching him much. And when he's trying to get very close before he shoots his punches.
Right hand landed over the top for Clottey, and now another right hand. And Bojado comes back, firing a combination to the body. Catches Bojado with the right hand.
He's getting in very close, leaning in where he can be very effective with his right hand.
And now Bojado tries to drop a right hand over the top on Clottey. Jab blocked. slow-paced rounds. Bojado hunting and pecking for opportunities against EMMANUEL CLOTTEY. Monday, it's the HBO Sports documentary, The Wild Ride to Super Bowl I. See how different the first Super Bowl was from the pageantry and hype surrounding next week's Super Bowl 38, 2 days later. The guys on Inside the NFL will pick the Patriots-Panthers game from Houston on our Super Bowl special. Feb 28. Eric Morales moves from featherweight to 130 pounds to face title holder Jesus Chavez. And March 13, live on HBO, Shane Mosley and Winky Wright will marry together their 154-pound title belts.
This round right here, group the shots up on him, okay? Back him up this round a little bit.
Seconds out.
CompuBox numbers in round 2. Bojado dropping from 50 punches in round 1 to 38 in round 2. Clottey going up from 34 punches in round 1 to 48 in round 2. Neither man landing a lot.
Yet both men are standing on a dime, very close to each other. No or very little clinching. Just thrust, parried, good right hand by Clottey.
Clottey's leading in very close with his hands up high and then shooting that little short right hand. It's going to be a big factor going down the stretch. Even though Bojado's winning the fight, if I was in his corner, I'd be very concerned looking at the way the fight is moving.
Well, it may turn out to be a tactical puzzle for Bojado, and it'll be interesting to see if the 20-year-old fighter, working with Mayweather Sr. in his corner, can solve it. Hard right hand by Clottey. Again, Bojado tries to shoot the right hand lead up the middle. See there, Bojado effectively ducking and slipping the jab. Again, the right hand lead.
But Bojado's left eye is starting to swell up already from those little short right hands he's been getting hit with.
Big right hand by Bojado as he swung from the outside. Clottey bunching his guard in front of the face because Bojado has good technique and is a straight puncher. So Bojado chose to sweep the right hand. And there's a good left uppercut and a right hand that follows.
I think Bojado's fighting a smarter fight now. He's trying to slow down and not just shooting punches randomly. He's trying to place his punches very effectively down before he punches.
Manuel, I just love a fight in which two boxer punches stand there trying to break each other down, showing defense, showing offense. This is what high-level boxing should be about. And these guys, the young fighter Bojado is doing a good job of moving his body.
Low blow by Clottey. Very low.
Tremendous body shot, too, by Bojado just before that. Even though Clottey didn't clinch, it was a great shot, though.
Yeah, and adapting to this more, puncher-boxer style.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the fighters that come from the countries over in the African countries, they don't have good conditions such as rings. They actually train a lot of time without rings. Therefore, you very seldom find those guys moving a lot. They usually cover up and just box. Very stationary.
Referee is David Fields. Not a familiar face here in New Jersey. Relatively new to the refereeing ranks, at least at this level.
And with the way that they're fighting, he's not going to have to do too much working inside for us breaking them from clinches.
There hasn't been a clinch in the fight.
No. Very unusual.
This is a much closer round than either of the first two rounds.
This is a skill matchup so far. Two guys trying to pick each other apart with their boxing skills.
Yes, no one can afford to make a mistake neither way they're punching.
CompuBox numbers through round 3. Bojado 36 out of 138. Clottey 24 out of 148. So Bojado landing at the higher percentage. Harold, how do you have this tactical fight so far?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27. Panchito Bojado. Jim, I tell you something. I love this kid. He's 20 years old. He's got tremendous poise. I love the way James. Then he comes back with that right hand you just saw, or he comes back with a hard left hook. So basically, Panchito Bojado, mostly on clean, effective punching.
I think he just landed his first good, clean left hook to the body, Emmanuel, and if he can begin to find more effective body punching opportunities, that could open something up upstairs.
Yeah, it seems like the best shots he can land is the body punches at this stage. He hasn't been too effective with head punches, but his general ringship, placing his punches properly, staying busy, accurate punching, has got him ahead in the fight.
Because Bojado went to the same high school, Garfield High, that Oscar De La Hoya attended in East Los Angeles. Larry asked him in the fighter meeting yesterday, said, were you seen as the next De La Hoya? Were you viewed as a De La Hoya protege, so to speak? And Bojado pointed out that there were as many as a half dozen or more amateur fighters at Garfield High.
And he's about 10 years younger.
So he said that he never really heard anything like that. But in the boxing world, the comparison has certainly been made from time to time.
I think the comparison mostly is the hope that some people held that he had the potential to someday become a star, a big pay-per-view attraction, etc. You know, that wasn't there early on for De La Hoya. He had to build it, and so will Bojado. You can't just anoint somebody to do that. They've got to earn it.
Round 4 is very much like its predecessors, as the two fighters stand very close to each other and hunt for opportunities. Now Clottey throws the right hand lead, lands it over the top. Bojado with a hard left hand to the body, drives him back.
Bojado has landed two short, crisp right hands right on, I'm sorry, Clottey, two short,
Clottey, yes.
crisp right hands right on the chin.
Very effective right hands. That's been
There's another
very
one.
effective. At this stage, the biggest punches to the head have been landed by Clottey, the short right hand.
Clottey parrying the jab. You saw him pop a light jab in there and then pump the next one much harder. Bojado dropping his hands and taking the jab, not trying as hard as earlier he did to duck and slip.
I gave that round to Clottey.
As Bojado taunted Clottey, trying to tell him he doesn't have punching power.
Hey, look at that, man. Look at that a little bit. Look at that.
Someone should do something and start working on that left eye because it's been swelling for the last 2 rounds.
Look at it. Look at, man. Start jabbing, man. You begin to start making this fight get close, man. You can hit this guy with anything. You ain't throwing no punches. You sitting in front of him, ain't doing nothing. You start using your jab.
Right? You are more mature than he's a baby. So you got to prove to him.
Don't let him back you up. Back him up.
You got to back him. Body, head, body.
Bojado's eye is not badly damaged, but it doesn't really look good. If he's to take too many of those quick right hands, it could open up.
This is a very tough fight for a young fighter coming up because Clottey is going to challenge him all the way to the end. He's got a good chin, and he's making him throw a lot of punches.
Cutman Joe Chavez worked on the left eye of Panchito Bojado between rounds. You can see that not only is it swelling, as Emmanuel pointed out, but now there was an abrasion on the eyelid as Chavez was going to work. Clottey has not been touched by his Cutman yet. When it happens, if it happens, he's got Al Gavin, one of the 2 or 3 best in the sport. Tough test for young Panchito Bojado in Atlantic City. Emmanuel Clottey, more or less given as good as he's getting for the first 4 or 5 rounds. Left hook lands for Clottey and momentarily knocks Bojado back.
He blinked his eye.
David Fields, don't do that. Let's go. Warning against the rabbit punches.
I like what Bojado did there. He got rabbit punched, he rabbit punched right back before the referee could step in.
And it was a good left hook by Bojado to begin that exchange.
Hey, come on, man. Pick him up. Let's go. Come on.
Bojado flirted with another low blow. moments after David Fields had warned him.
But this still is another good round for Clottey as compared to the previous rounds. I think the last round and this round are both rounds that could easily go to him on the official scorecard.
Bojado just not looking as sure of himself, Emmanuel, as he did in the first couple of rounds.
No, and that's why I think his trainer Mayweather told him at the end of the last round, his fight is starting to get close now. Bojado those combinations are very flashy, catches a lot of attention because of the speed, but for his effectiveness, he's not landing that many effective blows.
And Clottey rallying against the ropes. Bojado momentarily knocks him back with a left hook. Clottey keeps coming forward and pounding with the right hand. Tough job getting tougher for Francisco Panchito Bojado. He was scheduled to fight veteran Jesse James Leija tonight. But the San Antonio pro came down with an injury, and Clottey became the late replacement.
And those overhand short right hands are becoming more effective each round now.
Clottey again landed the overhand right against the ropes there. And Bojado with a trickle around the left eye as he goes back to his corner.
And there is a guy who could hit a little bit. Willie Mays, the great Willie, who works for the hotel here in Atlantic City and elsewhere. You can see the name on his cap. The best I ever saw.
You stop being a shoot, Gary. Make the guy miss, pay. Step around and walk. You ain't got to bounce. You fast enough to make it miss, then score, then go. But you better get your jab to work it, or you're going to make the fight harder than it is.
You got everything to prove it. Huh? Don't waste time. Go to the body. Go to the body before you go up. Anytime you go down.
Let's go, check this out. Come on, blue corner.
Emmanuel Clottey has lost 5 fights in his career. 14 knockouts and 21 wins. But as he fights better fighters near the top of the division, he may be getting better.
A lot of time when those guys are losing fights early in their career, they don't get proper training. There's a lot of things they have going against him. But once he's stabilized like he is now, living in New York, training on a regular basis, same place, seemingly has a good management to take his care of him. You have to look beyond just what the record is in the beginning and look at where he is right now at this time when you're fighting.
And he didn't have much of an amateur career either, Emmanuel.
And you know, I really believe in amateur career. I think it's very important. Bojado had a great amateur career.
Yeah, Bojado had a terrific amateur career. Even though he grew up in Los Angeles and went to Garfield High School, he's not an American citizen, so he went to Sydney to fight under the banner of Mexico. And Clottey saw his career improve when a manager named Sal Lonano, who was involved with Mickey Ward, saw him in the gym when Clottey trained those 120 rounds as a sparring partner for Ward, and said, gosh, this guy's a great kid. I want to help him. That helped to provide a platform up.
And it's made a big difference in Clottey right now at this time.
Bojado turned southpaw.
And gets hit with a right hand.
Break, stop punching, step back.
Immediately upon seeing Bojado in the southpaw stance, Clottey said, aha, I'll throw the straight right hand, and he landed it.
Incidentally, Clottey has a kid brother, a middleweight, who's considered a better prospect.
Bojado sweeping right hands to the body. Clottey chopping punches inside. Bojado makes a miss, can't make him pay.
Hey, watch them shoulders.
This fight is going to wind up in a phone booth.
It's turning out to be very, very close, and I would like to see Bojado really use his legs because he's a younger fighter. He moves good. He should box a little bit more at this stage right now.
Should he be busier, Emmanuel?
Boxing. I think he needs to box because it's going to be hard to hurt. Clottey seems to be a strong man, and it's a man and a boy there to some degree. And he should start boxing now. Clottey doesn't have the best legs, but he's fighting a perfect fight to the degree where this fight is getting very close now.
As an amateur, Panchito Bojado clearly had the mentality of an offensive fighter. Is Floyd Mayweather Sr. a good match as trainer?
I think Floyd has done a good job with him. I mean, I don't see anything wrong. I think this stage here, he just needs to box more. You know, he had a great
Chopping with the right hand again.
The right hand is the biggest factor, I think, in this point as far as being effective in this entire fight.
What can Bojado do to try to take away Clottey's effective short right hands?
I think he needs to start boxing, needs to move, get some distance between them. He's letting him lean in too close. The right hand is too close to his chin, so therefore he just shoots it out about 12 inches and it's hitting him. Another close round that's kind of moving in the direction of Clottey.
Clottey's trainer, Kwame Asante, said that his fighter showed Abdullayev way too much respect. He isn't showing Bojado as much respect.
That's all. You know how we started. Huh? Remember, he played loud. That's what you got to do. You're not doing it now. You got to put it now. Huh? Put in more pressure.
Backing up. You can't fight backing up.
Huh?
Two hands, Claudio. Two hands. Two good hands.
I'm a fighter.
Keep your punches going in sequence.
Chop, chop, chop. Those punches could have made the difference in the scoring of that round.
Bojado still has enough punching power that he could possibly score a knockout as the fight goes on, because he's a much better and bigger puncher, I think, than Clottey. But, you know, just at this stage right now, the fight's getting closer and closer and closer, and he may have to need that knockout later on.
And Clottey's been freer with his hands the last couple of rounds. Much more able to let his punches go, as in the last round where he released 65 punches to only 43 for Bojado. But let's see how Harold Letterman has it scored through 6.
Okay, Jim, I agree with you guys. 3-3, 57-57. I got it all even. Jim, I thought EMMANUEL Clottey pulled out rounds 4, 5, and 6 strictly by getting off first and coming forward. Panchito Bojado, without question, is much more effective when he gets off first, throws the first punch, and backs up EMMANUEL Clottey like he did the first 3 rounds. But the last 3, it's been Clottey on effective aggressiveness and clean punching.
Meanwhile, I find this a tremendously entertaining fight.
And now Bojado letting his hands go and raking Clottey with lefts and rights at short range. Clottey waits for Bojado to stop punching, comes back with a combination of his own. Bojado chops a right hand over the top and continues to fire uppercuts in close.
I was going to mention, Jim, just at the beginning of this round, it seems like Clottey is the first time seemingly looking a little more fatigued, maybe than Bojado. Maybe because he's throwing no punches the last 2 rounds, where before he was just resting.
And Bojado, perhaps sensing that, has stepped up his own energy level and particularly has gone to the body.
Yeah, he seems to be much stronger at this stage than Clottey.
Now Clottey going to the body to try to take some of the starch out of Bojado's offensive thrust here in the 7th round.
This is a very, very tough fight for a 20-year-old prospect. By comparison, Miguel Cotto did not have this type of opposition through his first 15 fights.
They trade left hooks. They trade right hands. Bojado lands flush with the right. Clottey comes back with a right and a left, both of them landing flush. This is a brutal fight now in the 7th round.
Exactly what I figured. But still, Bojado has enough punching power. I think still he could pull this fight out by a knockout.
Good right hand by Bojado, set up by an excellent left. Clottey takes the punches and comes back with 2 straight lefts. And this time Bojado wobbles Clottey with the right hand. Bojado doing a tremendous job in the 7th round of setting up rights with level double lefts. Again, Clottey rallied at the finish, but that was Panchito's best round since early in the fight.
Round, and it still could have ended up being a draw, possibly.
And it's what you want to see in a young fighter, his ability to come back the way he just did.
I don't want you laying your head in there, man. You'll get cut. You lay in there and do what you got to do, then get back out of the box, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Keep your hands up good, baby. Show me some defense.
Keep your hand up good. This guy got an awkward start. The way he do, he ain't that fast. But the way he attack, his jab is awkward. That's why sometimes he touches you. Because he's not that
tired over there. Look at him. He can hardly sit in the damn chair. Let's go. Come on. You're the man.
But what this is telling, fighting you're too close. Other than that, you're not going to get it. Right? So you got to prove it. Let your hand go. Let your hand
go. Seconds out. Let's go, blue corner. Back up, man. Back up.
In round 7, according to CompuBox numbers, Bojado landed 21 of 48 power shots. His best round in quite some time, probably since round 3. And you heard Floyd Mayweather Sr. saying, I like what you're doing offensively, Panchito, but get out of there. Quit staying in there and allowing him to return. Again, I think Bojado has the mindset of an offensive fighter.
Yeah, but this time he can make it a lot easier if he would box. And then he could get Clottey to relax a little bit, trying to find him, trying to chase him, and then explode and catch him when he's not expecting it. But everything that he's doing right now has got knockout written on it, and therefore Clottey's rolling, tightening up for it, and preparing to handle a punch.
Bojado's trying to set up a big 1-2 with head movement. Now he switches to the southpaw stance. Let's see if Clottey throws a straight right hand against that southpaw stance. Last time, he laced Bojado right up the middle. And there he goes. Bojado has slowed Clottey a little bit with defensive skills in the last minute.
Yes, and I wish he would keep doing this and boxing, moving in and out, using his footwork a lot more.
Bojado gets to land a short left hook inside as Clottey stalks and stalks. Panchito blocked both right hands with his left glove and ducked the third. Bojado in this round making like Willie Pep.
But he's not jabbing enough, though.
One, two, three. Landing the first 2/3 of it. Very low activity round for EMMANUEL Clottey as Bojado focuses on defense in the 8th. Arturo's other big buddy is Dale Earnhardt Jr. They've become really good friends down in Florida, and Dale Jr. is here tonight as well. 9th round of a Schedule 10 between Francisco Bojado and EMMANUEL Clottey.
I'm very impressed with Bojado's stamina and his ability to take a punch. He's still punching with tremendous speed, a lot of power, this late in the fight, which is a good sign of a young fighter coming up.
I told you about Bojado's defensive display in round 8. By CompuBox numbers, Clottey threw 52 punches in the round and landed only 4. That's how effectively Panchito was ducking and slipping through the 8th. Overall numbers in the fight, Bojado so far 99 out of 354, Clottey 82 out of 451 as they come to the 9th.
Bojado's class as a fighter, his quickness and movement beginning to open up a margin for himself.
Yes. He had a good amateur career. He had 3 fights with Miguel Cotto, which was very impressive, especially the fact that I think he split the decision for the most part.
Further proof of the drawing power of Arturo Gatti as you look around the house here. Almost every seat is filled in Boardwalk Hall.
They don't care who the other guy is.
They know who's in the main event.
Gatti means excitement. Drama.
This bout has produced drama. If you're aware of Francisco Bojado's eminence in the sport as one of those rising contenders who commands a lot of attention.
But he's once again getting hit with those short right hands again.
Painted with right hands by EMMANUEL CLOTTEY there. And after Clottey couldn't hit him in the 9th or in the 8th, suddenly he can't miss him for a few moments before Bojado responds with a 4-punch combination. Clottey bang bang with the right hand again. And Bojado bang with a big right hand. Bigger than Clottey's. Clottey wobble. Bojado's gonna unload. Crowd wants to see the kid knock him out. Kid wants to see the kid knock him out.
Clottey isn't hurt.
He's amazing, EMMANUEL Clottey. Tough and resolute.
Both of those guys have good chins.
Low blow by Clottey, got away with it. Big left hook upstairs, also by EMMANUEL Clottey. And Bojado with a big left hook to punctuate the round. They both think they won the 9th.
You got one more? I have 2 more. All right, then let's do it. Need one more like that. You drop on the triple hook. I want you to do it again. Triple up. But hit that body more, a little more, okay?
Okay. It's a close fight. You can't get it. You can't get it. Huh?
He can't hurt you. He can't hurt you. Stand there and punch with him.
You've got to close the show, okay? Give it to me. Breathe in, let out slow. Give it. I want to get around this one. Breathe in, let out slow.
This should be a very exciting 10th and final round.
Both trainers asking their fighters to give them the round.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th and final round. A round of applause for both fighters.
Mayweather Sr. slapping hands with Bojado to encourage him as he goes out for the 10th. 9th round numbers from CompuBox. Bojado 17 out of 56, Clottey 11 out of 66. Throughout the fight, Bojado has landed at the higher rate. You might have caught Harold Letterman's card at the bottom of your screen. He has Bojado winning the 7th, 8th, and 9th rounds to take a 3-point lead in the fight.
Harold and I are starting off our new year by agreeing.
Official judges, Joe Pasquale of New Jersey, Luis Rivera of New Jersey, Paul Venti of New Jersey. First minute of the round inconclusive.
Step back. Come on.
Clottey lands the right hand again. Bojado ducking twice, so Clottey goes to the body. Bojado's uppercut snaps Clottey up out of the phone booth. Clottey trying uppercuts of his own. Bojado with the straight right hand over the top, hard left hook to the body. Another straight right hand lands. Clottey with the left hook, not much mustard behind it. Combination by Bojado. He's winning the middle minute of the 10th round. He being Francisco Bojado. Good left hook by Bojado. Doubling up with the left hand. Straight right hand up the middle by Bojado, got past the guard. Clottey to the body with the right. Clottey hasn't been busy enough in the 10th to make a statement in this round. Now here he comes, and Bojado says to the referee, he's hitting me behind the head.
This is about the point at which he won the fight against Abdullayev.
He being Clottey.
Yes, Clottey. But that's not going to happen here.
No, Bojado's not trading with him the way Abdullayev did. Bojado protecting himself a little bit now and looking to outfox Clottey down the stretch. At some point in the latter stages of the fight, Panchito Bojado realized he wasn't going to knock Emmanuel Clottey out.
Yes, and he started to box him. But, you know, it's an interesting fight that you still don't know how to judge a score in these type fights. Clottey, I think, has lost, but you can never tell because a lot of Bojado's punches are very fast and flashy, but they're not landing.
Well, again, the three judges are from New Jersey, and I personally thought that Bojado put on a good display of defense and boxing skills in the last 3 or 4 rounds to sew this fight up.
I thought he fought a great fight for a young fighter.
An excellent fight.
Yes.
A tough, brave fight by Clottey. A very promising fight by Bojado, who in the middle rounds seemed a little confused, fell behind, regathered himself, and won going away down the stretch.
Harold, how'd you have it?
Okay, Jim. 7 rounds to 3, 97-93. Francisco Panchito Bojado. I think he really did a good job, you know, in his HBO debut here. Landed some clean, hard shots, you know, except for rounds 4, 5, and 6, where he seemed to take those rounds off, and Clottey seemed to come on. Bojado, I thought, dominated it with, you know, good defense, a lot of combinations, real good hooks to the body, and some darn good headshots. Emmanuel Clottey certainly takes a good punch, but that doesn't win fights. Francisco Bojado on clean punching.
And a look at the 3 judges who are turning in their final ballots right now. Luis Rivera, you saw Joe Pasquale's vital statistics prior to that. Paul Venti at 73. Had Marquez ahead of Campos at the moment when that fight was stopped, with Marquez bleeding from both eyes. Respect from Emmanuel Clottey to Panchito Bojado.
David, you might want to show a picture of the full house.
Shelly Finkel, manager of Bojado, and widely quoted in the sport as having said that Bojado was the best prospect he'd ever seen. Noteworthy because Finkel has had among many Meldrick Taylor, Pernell Whitaker, Evander Holyfield, Mark Breland, all of them celebrated prospects in their day.
I think everybody's pulled back from those inflated expectations.
And we're ready to go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Paul Venti scores it 97-93. Joseph Pasquale, same score, 97-93. Luis Rivera, 99-92. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Francisco Panchito Bojado.
So the fight, not as close as we might have suspected on the official scorecards, and there are some in the arena who don't particularly like the scores.